Hello everyone, this is Mario. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Pro Cycling Manager 2019. So I've been waiting for this game for quite a few months now. I'm really excited for now having it. It was released a couple of days ago, and today I'll bring you my first video in Pro Cycling Manager 2019. This one is going to be a short one, and I decided to show you a bit of the gameplay in cobbled races. And of course, if I'm going to show you cobbled races, there's nothing better than Paris-Roubaix. So of course, graphically, there aren't many differences from the previous game. The in-game graphics are pretty much the same as before, although I think that the transitions between cameras and such are quite more smoother this time around. Some of the differences are in the menus in-game. So as you can see on the left, the riders panel is a bit different. They have different coloring and contrast, but otherwise it's basically the same. And of course, one big difference is the route layout for this season. It looks really, really nice. I like it a lot. And this time it's interesting that, for instance, in Paris-Roubaix, you don't have many climbs, but when you do have increased slopes, you can see those yellow lines in the course. So that means that the slope, either in the uphill or in the downhill, they show you that as being either yellow or red if the slope is higher. So it's a quite nice addition. So one of the things that a lot of people are complaining right now, and I actually have the same complaint, is about the water bottles. But apparently the developers are trying to fix that, because it's not really obvious this year when the water bottles are getting empty. So here we are now approaching Troisville, for the breakaway riders at least. In the peloton, they are still a few kilometers away. They are now approaching that point. And of course, as usual, the most critical aspect of riding a cobbled race is to keep your riders, particularly your leader, in the front of the peloton. It's the best way to prevent wasting too much energy, and also if you get into a fall, it's a way for you to not lose contact with the frontman, and this way you can also avoid to be caught in cuts that usually take place after cobbled sectors. So another issue that has been reported by a lot of players is with Wanty-Gobert. And at least in Paris-Roubaix, I think in Tour de France stages as well, the riders of Wanty, for some reason, simply don't run properly. So as you can see, they are already so far behind every other rider, and it's really a bug that I think it's now being taken care of by the developers, but it's really annoying that this is happening. In previous editions, when we had falls, they were mostly of like 20 or 30 riders, and I think they really corrected that this time. So now we have Emmanuel Erviti falling, and as you can see, is the only rider falling, so he didn't take anyone else with him. So I think it's quite realistic that sometimes you have single riders falling, which really didn't happen in the previous Pro Cycling Manager. So I really think the developers did a good job in this department. The falls are quite more realistic now, without 30 or 40 riders falling all at the same time, and then taking even more riders that were coming behind and falling in the same place. I also tested that in downhills of mountain stages, and the same thing happened. The biggest fall I saw so far had 8 riders, if I'm not mistaken, and it was in a downhill, and the riders coming in groups behind did not fall in the same place as the other ones did. So there's another fall here. It's only 4 riders, I think. And I also think that they take less time now to get up. So a fall will probably not cause a rider to lose 3 minutes at once. And the breakaway is now in the Trouet d'Arenberg, and soon we'll have the peloton here as well. So let's increase a bit the effort by my riders. I don't want them to drop here, my main riders. And again, as you can see, I forgot to fill up the water bottles for Nico Denz, and now he dropped from the front group. So nice. It's so nice that this is happening. Yeah, they should really fix the water bottles thing. So now going on the Carrefour de l'Arbre, Oliver Nassen is being dropped by the other riders. I cannot keep up with that pace. I will soon be out of energy otherwise. So let's try to lower the effort a bit. This is really tough with a -2 race day condition. Also is again asking for water, and I basically left him dry. I'm together with Niels Pollitt, Dylan van Baarle, and Langeveld, Sebastian Langeveld. I don't recall his first name. A bit ahead is Zdenek Stibar. And then in the front group, we have Peter Sagan, Alexander Kristoff, Sepp van Mark, Philippe Gilbert, Greg van Avermaet, Matteo Trentin, Ties Benoot, and Wout van Aert. The riders, well, Kristoff and Philippe Gilbert are the first ones to enter the velodrome. Let's see, final lap. Greg van Avermaet was trying an attack a bit behind, but everyone is out of energy. Let's go back to Oliver Nassen. We are still a bit far behind. Let's push a bit now. And in the front, it's going to be Alexander Kristoff taking the win in Paris-Roubaix 2019, followed by Philippe Gilbert or Sepp van Mark. It's Sepp van Mark and then Philippe Gilbert. Let's now focus on Oliver Nassen and try to sprint now. Let's try to go for that top 10 finish. And I don't think he's going to make it. No, he's not making it. He's only 12th. And so the time limit for Paris-Roubaix is about to finish. And these 3 Wanty riders are still 67 kilometers away from the finish. So this is really massive. And I mean, I cannot even skip anything. I have to wait for them to finish. Of course, I'm increasing the speed, but yeah, this is really ridiculous. They still fall anyway. Some of the Wanty riders are still falling. Yeah, basically because I think they are going so slow that they just cannot keep on top of the bike. Just look at this guy. He's going in a 5-star cobbled sector. Oh, it finished. Wow, it didn't let them finish the race. Good. That's actually good. I was expecting them to finish the race. It would take so long if they had to do that. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this first video in Pro Cycling Manager 2019. It was a bit different from what I usually do, but it's just to give you a glimpse of how the game looks like during races. And I decided to try a cobbled race. And of course, there aren't many differences in the gameplay and in the way you have to approach this type of races. So it's basically the same. You have to stay in the front of the groups in cobbled sectors. And well, the main difference that I've seen is about the crash system in the game. So you now don't have big crashes with 20, 30, 40 riders at the same time. So because of the smaller number of riders that fall each time, There was only a single rider abandoning due to a fall, Juraj Sagan. But also another big issue at least in Paris-Roubaix, was that the Wanty riders, for some reason, were having big problems in racing. And so if you have enjoyed this, please like my video. Also comment below on what you think I should do in the near future. I'm planning to do a review on the game soon enough, if I have time, of course. And starting next week, I will start recording the Tour de France. It's just around the corner now. And probably after the Tour de France, I will start a career mode in PCM 2019. So I'm really excited about that. I hope you guys are too. And if you are and haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel so that you can keep watching my videos. And that really shows your support. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you soon for another video in Pro Cycling Manager 2019. Bye!